What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Select Thor Ragnarok Gladiator Hulk figure from Diamond Select Toys. And I'm super excited about this guy, so we're going to jump right into this. And here's a quick look at the figure and the packaging. You're able to see the figure itself, and then you can see the accessories that it comes with, and then it has all the standard information. You know, it says what figure it is, Marvel Select, all that cool stuff. But down here it's really cool because it says that it's Marvel Select's 15th year anniversary, and that's really cool because I remember when Marvel Select first came out. They came out at the same time as Marvel Legends, and they seemed cool, but they were just pretty much statues. And now at this point, they're like awesome action figures. They're fully articulated, and they've come a really long way. So it's awesome to see they've been around for 15 years. So congratulations to them, and hopefully they stick around for much longer. And then on the side of the box, you get some awesome artwork inspired by Thor Ragnarok. And then on the back here, we get some artwork. We get a look at the figure itself, and then we see a little character description, and then a little description of the figure. And then down here at the bottom, it tells us that it was sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios. So as always with Marvel Select, the packaging is cool, but once you take the figure out, it's garbage. It's not collector friendly. So that's enough of that. Let's look at the figure itself. And now for the articulation, I'm really impressed with how good everything works, considering it's such a big figure and it has all these armor pieces. Everything works really good, so let's check it out. The head is able to move side to side, and then it has some really good like tilt to it. Check that out. Could almost get it to go all the way to the side. It's really good, and it just kind of can move all the way around really nicely. It can go up to about there, not really looking all the way up, but it does look all the way down. But I do like how much it tilts. You could get some pretty expressive poses out of that. And then for its torso, I'm always nervous with Marvel Select figures and their torso, because a lot of times you could see the joint like in the promo pictures, but then it doesn't work that good. In this case, it works really good. Check it out. He's able to kind of move all the way around. You could get it to rotate. You could get it to twist. You could get him to lean to the side. It takes a little bit of work because he's a big figure, but could definitely get him to go to the side. Check that out. This figure's kind of huge, so it's kind of hard to fit him into the frame here. But hopefully you're able to get a good look at what I mean. But yeah, check that out. The torso is really good. Can't really go back too much. Only goes back to about there. But he does have a really nice forward crunch. Check that out. If you could see that. I mean, it's not like he crunches forward as much as Spider-Man or anything, but I think it crunches forward enough for Hulk. Check that out. That's really good. And then he does have a waist swivel, but it's really tight. It's definitely there, but you kind of don't need it because you get a swivel from the torso. And then for his arms, he has ball jointed shoulders. So you're able to get his arms to come way up to the front, and the armor piece moves out of the way, so it doesn't hinder the articulation too much on this side. But see, check that out. Pretty cool. But yeah, his arms are able to go all the way around, and they come out to the side. You've got the upper bicep swivel. You have single jointed elbows. All the joints are really tight, but it definitely could get him to move with some work. But single jointed elbows. Then you have a swivel at the wrist. And on the hand with the fist, it kind of hinges this way. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it kind of like curls. And for the gripping hands, you could kind of move them up and down. Again, I'm not really sure how to describe it, but as you can see here, it kind of goes up and down like he's shaking his hand, so that he could hold his weapons, and you could get him to look like he's swinging his weapons. So I think that's awesome that they did that. And then for his legs, they have these joints that Marvel Select uses a lot. And, you know, people say that they're ugly. In this case, it doesn't matter because it's covered by this. And you're able to get him to do, I mean, pretty much, not the splits at all, but you could get his legs to come out to the side. Get them to kick forward about that much. Get them to come back. Only to about there. But then you have the upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Then you don't have a swivel at the foot, but his feet do come out to the front like that, and then they're able to tilt up like that, and then you have rocking ankles. And yeah, I think all the articulation works pretty good. It is pretty tight, and it is kind of hard to like maneuver because he's such a big figure. getting like exhausted messing with it here because all the joints are so tight. But everything works pretty good, so I was really happy about that. Really happy about the torso joint and the way that the head works. So two really big positives in the articulation department. Everything else is pretty much what you'd expect. It is cool that they got double jointed knees down there. I wasn't really expecting any double jointed elbows, so very, very cool. Very good articulation for such a big figure. And he does come with a couple of cool accessories. He comes with a couple sets of hands, the first pair being a set of fists. And then the next set is a pair of gripping hands so that he could hold on to his weapons. And he comes with two different heads, one without a helmet and one with a helmet. And here's a look at the weapons that he comes with. First off, he has this really cool looking axe. And I like this thing a lot. It has like a primitive look to it, but it's still like metallic, you know? It looks really nice and has some really nice paint details. You could see that it's gray, but with some like black wash or like some wear type of effect to it. It looks really, really good. I like the way this axe looks a lot. And then you have the hammer. And this hammer's nice too, but the only thing about it is that it's hollow, and it kind of feels like it could potentially snap if you're not careful with it, especially when trying to get it in and out of the fist, because it's really tight trying to get this in there. You know, and if it feels like if you mess with it too much, you could maybe bend it like right in here, so be careful with that. But I mean, he could definitely hold these weapons that he comes with. Just takes a little bit of work to get them onto his hands, but once they're in there, they fit tightly. I'm not going to try to force it here on camera, but all right, here we go. Actually, there we go. So yeah, you can see it's pretty hard to get it on and off, but once it's on there, he grips it really nice. And he looks really cool holding his weapons, but one of the few gripes I have with this figure is how loose the wrist is. You can see that this kind of just flops around. It's really, really loose. And I don't think it's because the weapon's heavy, because like I mentioned before, it's hollow. So it's not very heavy, but I think it's just how loose the wrist is, or maybe just how small the peg is there. You can see it's like a small little peg that goes into there. And yeah, that's the other thing, like his wrists pop out really easy when you're messing with it. But it's, I mean, that's not like a huge deal. I mean, that's kind of a little gripe I have. It's a little annoying, but it's not like, you know, it doesn't make the figure horrible or anything like that. It's just a kind of thing that's a little bit annoying. I do wish that maybe the peg was longer or thicker, so it was tighter when you know, when he's holding his weapon. But they probably made it that small so it's easy to switch out, but I just think it might be a little too easy to switch out. And now for the size comparisons, just a fair warning, I kind of went crazy with it because I know a lot of people are going to be interested in how he measures up to other lines, so they could possibly use this instead of the Marvel Legends one or even the Mezco one. But yeah, let's get into it here. For starters, here he is next to a Marvel Select Star-Lord and Marvel Select Destroyer. And then here he is next to the Marvel Select Dark World Thor and Marvel Select Comic Book Thor. And then here he is alongside his comic book counterpart, the Marvel Select Comic Book Gladiator Hulk. And the Marvel Select First Appearance Hulk. And then here he is next to the Marvel Select Hulk Unleashed and the Marvel Select Age of Ultron Hulk. And here he is next to the Marvel Legends 2-pack McGinnis Hulk and the Marvel Legends Smart Hulk from Toy Biz. And then here he is next to a bunch of MCU Marvel Legends figures. We have the homemade suit Spider-Man, we have the Black Panther from the new Black Panther movie wave, we have Captain America from Civil War and Iron Man from Civil War. And then here he is next to a bunch of Marvel Legends comic book figures. We have Pizza Spider-Man, we have Captain America from the Red Onslaught wave, then we have Wolverine from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave, and then last but not least we have King Hulk from the Fin Fang Foom Build-A-Figure wave from years back. And then here he is next to Mezco Wolverine and Mezco Black Adam and the Marvel Legends Black Panther aka Pink Panther. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Ragnarok Valkyrie and Ragnarok Thor. And in my opinion, I think that he fits in pretty good with them. He is a little bit big, but I think it definitely works. And I apologize, I don't have the Build-A-Figure Hulk from the Ragnarok wave. I just wasn't really interested in it because I knew this one was coming out. So I passed on that one. But yeah, I think if you want, this one could work pretty good with your Marvel Legends figures, as you could see here. He doesn't, you know, he's not enormous next to them, but he definitely towers them like he should. So I think it looks pretty good. And as for the sculpting and details on this figure, it's no surprise Marvel Select killed it like they always do. Let's take a look at it here. There are some paint imperfections. As you can see here, the paint kind of gets sloppy with the white. And right here, I don't think this is on purpose. It kind of looks ugly. But, you know, the strap kind of covers it. You don't even really notice it, so it's really not a big deal. Other than that, the paint is pretty nice. And you could see, oh, actually I have a paint imperfection on the hand too. As you could see, I got some purple right there. But again, not a huge deal. I'm not too upset about it. But yeah, all the other details are nice. All the sculpted details are especially nice. Look at all the sculpting on this guy. You got some sculpted armor pieces on the side, on the forearm here. You got the really cool looking gladiator sandals. You got the skirt here that's like a pretty soft plastic, so it doesn't get in the way too much. And even under here, you got like sculpted shorts on. So that's pretty cool. And like I mentioned before, this is soft plastic, so it really kind of doesn't get in the way of the articulation too much. You could kind of shift it around where you need to. Then you're able to move any of the parts that you want. And let's check it out here. Some of the paint, all the paint right here looks nice. I know it's not supposed to be perfect, you know, he's like a gladiator on a crazy alien planet, so I mean, I'm not too upset that the paint's not perfect, but right here kind of seems excessive. But yeah, let's check it out. Everything looks nice on this figure, man. They did such a great job on the sculpt. Let's see what we got going on back here. Not too much, you know, but yeah, it looks really, really nice. And you even have like sculpted hair on the chest and on the stomach here. And let's see what we got here. You got some like straps and crazy stuff going on. You got some like cloth sculpting right here on the wrist and on the hands. Yeah, there's a lot of good detail on here and a lot of really nice paint details on the armor. It looks like it has like a really nice metallic look to it. But yeah, I really love this figure. I really love the sculpting on this guy. Check them out, check them out. Pretty cool, very well done. Let's see what we got. So yeah, see, check that out. The armor doesn't get in the way at all of his articulation. That's awesome. Yeah, you see down there. You got the cool armor look. But yeah, just a really nicely sculpted figure. They always kill it with Hulk figures. I mean, it's no surprise. All their Hulk figures have been really nice, and this is just another really, really nice figure to add to your Marvel Select Hulk collection. And for the head sculpts, you could see that they're both really nice. There's a lot of nice looking details all throughout the helmet. I like his facial expression. I do wish that it came with a screaming crazy face, but it just came with two kind of plain looking faces. But that's okay. They're both really well done. I definitely like all the sculpting on the helmet here. Check that out. That's so nice. And I love the colors up here, the red and the black. And the sculpting's really nice on here too. It did such a good job. I'm so happy with this figure. Check them out. Obviously with this head it hinders the articulation. He's not going to look up as much as the head without the helmet, but that's to be expected. This helmet kind of has like a samurai look to it in the back here, huh? It's pretty cool. But yeah, look at that. They did such a good job. And the paint on his face here looks really good too. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the way his eyes look. I wish they were looking more straightforward, but he's kind of just looking up. But it still looks good. Not a huge deal, not a big problem. Very happy with this. And here's a look at the head without the helmet. And I think they did a really good job on here too. I think that the face looks accurate to the movie. Again, I'm not a fan of the way that the eyes are looking up like that. Luckily his head has a lot of movement, so you could kind of make it work, but when you kind of move it up like this, it doesn't look so great. But you know, you could tilt his head down and then it looks fine, you know. But I think the head is very well done. It's definitely executed very well. And the paint is pretty nice on mine, except you could see some like black stuff kind of splattered there. And I don't know if that was like intentional or if that just is kind of, you know, like a paint defect or you know, just bad paint apps. But it's kind of hard to tell with the figure like this that's kind of supposed to look, you know, war torn and beat up. So either way it works. I'm fine with it. You know, I'm not mad about these little black you know, splashes right here. You know, it looks fine. It's whatever. But I just don't know if it was intentional or not. But the white looks really good on here, and yeah, I think the facial expression is cool. I just really wish that he came with the head that was screaming, whether the helmet on, with the helmet on, or with the helmet off. Just a head that was screaming would have been awesome here. But I am happy with the two heads that we got, so it's all good. So overall, I'm very, very happy with this figure. I had really high expectations for this guy, and I was kind of worried that I was hyping him up too much and I was going to be disappointed, but I'm not disappointed at all. I'm super happy with it. Like I said, it's not necessarily perfect. There's some paint flaws, and he's kind of tough to pose and deal with because he's a big figure with a bunch of armored pieces, and you know, some of the joints are really tight, and so he's hard to kind of maneuver and mess with. But I mean, with some work, you could get him into all the poses that you need to. The only big flaw that I think is the way that his eyes are pointed and how easy his wrists pop out of the arms. But other than that, he has no huge flaws that I'm super mad about. He's definitely a really good figure. I think that he's a good alternative to the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure. You know, instead of paying, you know, $100 plus to build that, you could go get this. I'm not sure if Marvel Select figures have gone up in price. It kind of feels like some of them have. Like the Disney Store Gladiator Hulk was a little bit more expensive than other Marvel Select figures, but I still think it's worth it. Even at like $35 or whatever, a figure like this Hulk or that Gladiator Hulk is well worth it. It's a lot of figure for your money. You're not paying a crazy amount of money, and you're getting a really good, nicely sculpted, huge figure. So I mean, you can't be mad at that. And he even came with some accessories. So I mean, that's super dope. So this figure has all the positive things that you'd come to expect from Marvel Select, like an awesome sculpt and just a really impressive looking figure. And in this case, he even has really good articulation. Marvel Select has released some Spider-Man figures with worse articulation than him, especially in the torso area. I was really impressed with how much his torso moved, so that was a really pleasant surprise. But yeah, you know, he's a really awesome figure. I definitely suggest picking him up. He should be in stores pretty soon. I got this off eBay, so it's a little bit earlier than some other people are able to get him. But I think he's going to be in comic book stores next week. So keep an eye out for him. Pick him up. He's an awesome figure. So I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And for today's random question, what other characters do you think could have gone to Sakaar, or aka Planet Hulk, and conquered it like the Hulk did? I really think that someone like Black Bolt could have. I think he could have went up there and conquered it with no problem. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Peace.